welcome to the Astro Imaging Journey channel. Please enjoy the episode.
Hello and welcome back to my Astro Imaging Journey channel. In this part we're going to go over MUREDenoise. It's a script, it's not a process. That can be found up here in script, utilities, no. Where was that? Image analysis. Oh, noise reduction. MUREDenoise and denoise detector settings. Now if we pull up the denoise script, you'll see this little icon down here. Now we know from the processes that we can drag this down and create a process icon, and in this particular case, if we open that up directly like we would a normal process, we get this here. And then we have to run it a different way. Or we have to remember where it was at, and as you saw, I had trouble remembering where it was at in the beginning. Or we can right click on it and execute in the global context. Now it brings it up. So anytime you see this, you can create your process icon with the settings that you have, and it will allow you to run the script as long as you right click on it. I gotta close it out. As long as you right click on it and execute in the global context. I'm gonna go ahead and delete that because I have it over here. If I execute it from here, you can see I have a few different options in here. So I'm going to close that out for now because there's one step we need to do first. I just wanted to show you that we can actually look at one other one. I believe it's the dark structure enhance. So if we go to script, utilities, dark structure enhance, you'll notice there is no triangle here. So when we get to this script later on in the workflow, which is all the way down here, the last step, you'll see that all I did was I used the histogram transformation, or excuse me, the histogram transformation process. I just created it and then relabeled it so that I know that I need to go and actually do that script, as opposed to being able to, I have to come up here and actually look for the script and open it this way, as opposed to being able to open it from the global context down here, because we don't have that option to create the process icon. Minor thing to worry about, but we can work it into the workflow. We just have to remember that. And obviously when I've done this before, I'll be working through my workflow, I'll get to that point and I'll be like, oh yeah, I got to remember go open the script and so on and so forth. So that little sidebar done, let's do the first thing we need to do, and that is we need to get our settings. So I'm going to open global context, and you'll notice we need an uncalibrated flat, 2 of them, two dark frames, and we don't have those open. So we can't double click with a script open, but what we can do is we can come over here to workspace 2 possibly. No, it won't even let me move over to another workspace. So I need 2 flats and 2 darks. I'm going to close this out. I'm going to go over to workspace 2. I'm going to double click on my workspace here. And I know my dark frames are over here on my NAS. I'm going to come over here to my calibration libraries, archives, darks October. Now we have filters that were at 5 minute and filters that were at 10 minute. So I'm going to open up the 5 minute, and I'm just going to select 2 at random. Looks like we're at 24 and 25 degrees Celsius, so I'm going to do a 24 and a 25. I'm going to open them. And we can just go ahead and minimize those. And I'm going to go and I'm going to open up 2 10-minute darks. And we've got 23 and 25, so I'll do a 23 and a 25. Let's open those. It may be possible that between the 5 and the 10-minute frames, our settings may yield different options. So we will leave that be. And then we're going to come back up here to archives. We're going to go to our flats. We've got October. And let's open up 2 luminance ones. Just pick the first 2. And I believe they're going to be the same during my earlier testing. But let's open up 2H alpha flats as well. And we'll minimize those. We'll just leave them here for now. I like to keep things a little bit cleaner. So I will put those right there. We'll go back to our workspace 1. Let's open in global context our settings script. Now if you notice we're in workspace 1, but when I pop this down, we can see our calibration frames in here as well as our other frames that are in workspace 2. So it will read across the multiple workspaces. And we're going to do the 5 minute. So that's the 24, the 5 minute 25. And the luminance, 2 luminance ones. You know what we need to do? We have a problem. You know what I did? I put my darks in my flat, and I put my flats in my dark. So let me dismiss this. Sometimes the brain just does not work correctly. So now we'll go and we'll do our luminance, Now we'll do our dark 5 minute, our dark 5 minute. There we go. Now we can do an estimate. And this should not take very long. And there we have our 2 settings we're going to need are the gain and Gaussian noise. So I need to open up, I'm going to write that down. Alright, so I have that written down on a piece of paper. And I'm going to change this over to the H alphas. And now let's do an estimate. And those 2 match to what we had before. And if I go with my darks at 10 minutes, I do an estimate, will it be the same? No. So my 10 minutes is going to be just a little bit different. So my narrow band exposures are going to have a different setting than my flat exposures, or excuse me, my 5-minute exposures. So I will make a note of that. The gain stayed the same, but the Gaussian noise was just a couple ticks up. So it went from 32.37 to 38.94. Let's go ahead and dismiss that. Now let's go into MUREDenoise. And again, I double clicked. I forgot I need to do execute in global context. Now here in lies part of a problem is I need to open up at least one flat per filter, and I'm going to have to calibrate it, or excuse me, crop it to match the others. So let's go ahead and do a dismiss. So I've already got a luminance. Move this up here. We'll take this one. So we got a luminance and an H alpha. So let me open up my other flats here. Okay, so instead of opening up the uncalibrated flat frames, I'm going to try this with our calibration frames for the flats. So if I come over here to my calibration directory, I've got my current and my flats. I'm going to open up the masters. Now, I need to make an adjustment. I need to crop these. If we look back over here at the denoise, our flat field, it states sizes of the main view of the image selected for denoising and the main view of the flat field must be equal. So I need to crop them to match. So for that, I'm going to go ahead and dismiss. And this is where PixInsight, I should have left my dynamic crop process icon that I used to crop all of the images on Workspace 2. I did not. I deleted them. I got ahead of myself. But we can come down here, select our luminance, come down to the History Explorer, select our luminance, and there's our dynamic crop. You can open that up, and it has all of our settings. So now I can create a new one that duplicates what we had. I can send this over to Workspace 2. It should be hidden. There it is. We'll put that over here. And now I can just drag this onto there. Rinse and repeat on the rest of these. And just to keep things tidy, I'll put those right there. Those are all cropped. Now I can delete this and go back over to Workspace 1. Right click on my denoise script, global context, and here I can select whichever one I want to do. We've got the luminance up here, so we're going to use that one first. We're going to select our master flat for the luminance. We're going to change our gain to match our settings from before. so 0.062. This is a 10-minute, or excuse me, a 5-minute exposure, so our noise was 32.37. Scale 1, count of 8. We'll leave those the same. We'll leave that the same. And I'm just going to run a preview. Oh, I can't do a preview. So we'll just run it on this image right now, and we'll be back when it completes. Okay, that has completed. So let's dismiss this real quick so we can take a look at things. You can see it ran through all 8 cycles. Now if we zoom in, let's zoom in over in this area here. It looks pretty smooth. See a little bit of noise, but if we undo it, look at all that noise that is in there. All that salt and pepper in there. And if we redo it, smooths it out a lot. So if you remember a few episodes ago, real episodes, not parts, I gave my recommendation on the masters of PixInsight's tutorials, those workshops, those sessions that they offer. You know, noise was always a problem in the detail. You know, specifically, I went back and I mentioned that I purchased the 2, the dialing down the noise and dialing up the detail workshops, and in there they taught about the denoise process, and in the dialing down the noise, I'd never used MUREDenoise, and that is some awesome results. And then when I went into the dial up the detail, that was I wanted to learn more about the deconvolution process. So, because I've never really got that to work reliably. I think I got it to work on one of my images, but I really wasn't sure what I was doing. And those courses, those workshops, helped out tremendously. So, once again, I'm going to highly recommend, if you're relatively new and you want to learn more about some of these processes, those gentlemen over there on the Masters of PixInsight workshops do a wonderful job of diving in and explaining what's happening, and a lot better than I can do. So I highly recommend go check them out, and pay for one of the workshops you're interested in, make your notes, update your workflow, see how it works in yours, and then hopefully it'll help make some better images for you, because it definitely, when I did the trial run to create this workflow, it worked wonders over what I had before. So I'm going to take a look at that one more time. So let's zoom back in, undo, redo. Let's check some of the nebula. So we come over here, undo, redo. Undo, redo, undo, redo. Yeah, it's not really destructive to the details, so we're good there. So now I just need to do this for all of my other images here. So like blue, and we've got our master flat blue. That's a 10-minute frame, so that's a 0.062. And the noise was 38.94. We'll do a denoise, and yeah, so I'm going to rinse and repeat and get through the rest of these master integrated images, and we'll be back for the next process, which is combining our RGB image. So with that, I'm going to say thanks everybody for watching. Hope you got something out of it. As always, clear skies, and have a good one.
Thank you for watching yet another video from the Astroimaging Journey channel. Really appreciate your viewership. In our upper right, we have the latest video we've uploaded. In our lower right, we have what YouTube might think you would enjoy. And in the lower left is our subscription button. Please like this video, subscribe if you so choose. As always, clear skies, have a good one, and remember Duke.